we'll start in just about a minute. So, good evening, all my dear children. We'll start in just about a minute. Just one moment. Can you all hear me clearly?
Yes, Vaishali auntie.
Great.
Yes. Yes.
Okay, okay.
Yes.
Yeah, so welcome everyone. And like always, I feel very happy to tell you all that Kalpavriksha has picked the story station once again to have a book launch. Yeah, we've had so many interactions with so many authors, isn't it, up until today? So then today also we are going to have a wonderful book launch where we have the illustrator, the publishing house, as well as, of course, the author here with us today. All of you have taken a look at the poster. Do you know what book we are going to be reading today?
Chitty.
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 That's right.
Chitty.
That's right. The name of the book is Chitty. The author is Sirao. All right. Now, I asked Sirao that if I want to tell children about what you really love to do, Sirao, what would you like to share with them? And she said, just tell children that I love daydreaming. I said, wow, that's something that children do naturally. They don't need to set aside time to daydream at all. Most of the time, kids are lost in their dreams and they have to be snapped out of their dreams, isn't it? And that's why they're also creative. Sirao is very fond of gardening. She's fond of reading. And she loves writing with a fountain pen. Some of you might know what's a fountain pen. Some of you might not. But it's very, very nostalgic for someone like me who also uses a fountain pen to write. It reminds me of our school days. Sirao loves cooking. She loves going to the post office to send letters and parcels. She loves cycling and, of course, dog walking. These are some of her favorite activities. Of course, like I told you, besides sitting down and just daydreaming. Most authors and illustrators do that because that's where, in that space, when they daydream, is when they get the best of their ideas. The ocean is a great magnet for Sirao. She loves being by the sea. And that's why she identifies herself with an octopus which has 8 really busy arms. Sustenance comes from being a barefoot ecologist. So she's not just a writer, but she participates in a lot of projects which are very, very closely connected to nature. In this book, Sirao shares the many adventures, some of which are charming, some of which are scary, but all of them are about a very trusty canine companion, Chitty. So let's welcome Sirao here today. She's in the chat box with all of us. And you can see her name, Sirao, title now. So hi, Sirao.
Hello, everybody. So happy to be here with all of you. Thank you very much.
Thank you for joining us. Thank you. Now we also have Rajiv Aip. Who is Rajiv Aip? He's the illustrator of this book.
Yeah.
He tells me that he too is very, very fond of just staring into vacant space, which I think is another form of daydreaming. Yeah. And I think his great ideas and his great sketches also come from there. And I haven't asked both of them, but when I read about these two common things, I think probably just the fact that they both love to daydream must have got them together in those daydreams itself. And they must have connected to create this wonderful story and the lovely illustrations as well. So what does Rajiv like to do? Rajiv Bhai lives in Bangalore. And he works on animation and illustration projects, and he loves to doodle. He has a sketchbook and he makes many, many doodles. And he says that he loves to drink coffee more than what's good for him. And we all have a habit of doing something more than what we should. Maybe the coffee brings in the best of illustrations. And he loves to maintain an untidy workspace and gaze into vacant space, like I told you, at short intervals. Recently, Rajiv won the 2021 Big Little Book Award in the illustrations category. So a big round of applause for you, Rajiv. Congratulations on that. And welcome. Welcome to all of you to Story Station. And we have, of course, Sujata and Tanya from Kalpavriksha. Many of you know Sujata as well from the books that she's read to us. Thank you, Sujata, and thank you, Tanya, for picking Story Station to have this lovely book launch. And I'm not going to take any more of the children's time and Sirav and Rajiv's time. So we're going to dive straight into this wonderful experience that you're going to have. Rajiv is going to take you through the illustrations of the book and he's going to talk to you about it. And of course, Sirav will do a book reading. And when we finish both, we will open for questions, okay, with all of you. And I'm sure all my children and all of you know that while Rajiv is talking or while Sirav is reading the book, all of you must stay on mute.
Hello.
Fuck you, bitch. Fuck you.
There was a lot of noise around and I couldn't complete what I was saying. All of you know the drill that whenever we have our authors speaking and when we have our presenters speaking, I would request all of you to stay on mute. If there's any background noise and by mistake you get unmute, go back on mute. We're going to have a lovely interactive session where you can all speak with each other. All right. And my children know they always indicate it by showing a big thumbs up. So can you do that? All of you get it? And all of you all set? Great. So over to you, Rajiv.
Hi everyone. It's so lovely to be here. Am I audible? Can everyone hear? Okay. So when Sujata from Kalpavriksha wrote to me asking me if I'd be interested in illustrating a book that was about dogs and about a forest that this dog lived in, I was so happy. I howled at the moon and I barked and I wagged my tail because I love dogs and I love forests. So and this is the book in case you all haven't seen it yet. So I really enjoyed making illustrations for this very lovely story about Chitty and her home in a forest farm. So I thought I'd draw a few drawings of a dog, and if anyone is interested, you all can also draw along either now or at any other time with whatever drawing instruments you have. So I'm just going to share my screen now. Can you all see a whiteboard?
Yes, we can see Rajiv.
Okay, great. So I'm going to start by drawing a doggy. I'm just going to draw some rough drawings first. Circles are the easiest way to start. And later we can clean this up. So now we have two eyes and, and a tongue. And
Rajiv, you've gone on mute.
Unmute. Am I on mute now? I'm not on mute.
Yeah, can I take 30
Yeah,
seconds?
we can hear you. Go ahead.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm just going to take 30 seconds of your time. Children, don't want to be very stern or harsh. There's somebody who is continuously, making some kind of noise which is disturbing everybody else. So if you can just stop that, then we don't have to keep, going on and off the session, okay? Thank you.
Okay. Now, when I'm making drawings of dogs, I try. I'm saying try because I don't always succeed. I really like to add a lot of emotion to the characters because I feel that helps to really bring the story alive. So happy, sad, anxious, nervous, scared. Those. So here we have a reasonably happy dog, but say, and also animals have this great way of using their bodies to show emotion. So this dog has his ears up, one ear is down. He has his ears up and his tail is out, and maybe this tail is wagging. But say this dog was a little nervous because he or she did something that she shouldn't have done, and is getting a bit of a scolding for it. What would this dog look like? Her ears would go down, and her head would droop a little bit, and I think Siddharth has a question. Please ask, Siddharth.
Do we have to draw this?
No, let's just draw this first drawing. Let me clean this up.
Do we have to draw any choice?
Sorry.
Do we have to draw this?
No, wait. I'll tell you what to draw. I was just
So you mean that we can draw?
No, wait. Hold on. Okay. Okay. Just draw with me now. Okay. Let's draw this happy dog, and we'll erase this sad dog because we are not sad. We are all happy. Okay. Now draw with me. Okay. We are drawing eyes in that circle, and we are drawing a nose. Oh, many raised hands. Yes. Yes, ask. Ayan.
I want to ask you a question. Like, does the dog like get very afraid or scared in any part of this book? Because I've not read it yet.
Does the dog get afraid? Sarao, does the dog get afraid at any point? I don't think so. There's a point where a snake pops up in the house, and Chitty, she has a bit of a go at the snake, but eventually the snake is okay and the dog is okay, and nothing happens. But having an encounter with a snake can sometimes be a bit scary, I suppose.
Yeah.
So yes.
Okay.
Answer your
Just
question.
a question.
Yes, Raghav, you have a question?
Yeah, two things, sir. Sir, is it compulsory to
Two?
draw?
If you feel like you can draw, you don't have to draw.
Okay. And second thing is that in the chat box, somebody wrote a question: what tablet and app are you drawing on? So I think he is using a Wacom tablet, pen tablet.
Correct. That's right. My trusty Wacom tablet, which I've had for 20 years now. Not 20, 15.
I'll go back on.
Ojas, you have a question?
Yes, sir. Good evening, sir. So I
Good
just
evening.
wanted to ask, so you do all your illustrations on the computer or on
No.
a paper?
I do some drawings on paper,
Okay.
and then sometimes I color on the computer and sometimes I color on paper. But if I'm in a tearing hurry and I'm late, then I usually draw on the computer because it saves a lot of time. But what I really
Okay.
love to do is to draw on paper because it's
Okay.
much more fun.
Okay. So I also wanted to ask, which one do you like more, illustration or writing stories?
I like to illustrate.
Oh.
I like to illustrate because it's a bit easier for me. Writing stories can be a bit challenging. I'm still
Oh,
learning.
okay, sir.
Okay. Nia
Thank
has a
you,
question.
sir.
Nia, do you have a question?
Yes, so do we need to draw? Do we need to do the same steps like how you have done, or can we draw a dog how it's easy for us?
How it's easy for you?
Okay.
Now, so I finished my. Oh no, I missed out one leg. See, now I have drawn my drawing of a dog. Now, what I would like you all to do, whoever is drawing, is to personalize this dog. So you all must have either you'll have your own dogs, or you know people who have dogs, or you'll have met dogs in your lives. So try and think of what makes that dog that particular dog. What is unique about that dog? Does he have a patch over one eye? Is it the left eye or the right eye? Um, does he have ears that go like this, or she? Does he not have a tail, maybe? Or is she a very funny color? Is she a blue dog? Is she a purple dog? So those are some things that you all can think of and add to this basic drawing of a dog. Lots of raised hands. Should we take questions now, or should we wait at the end? And
I have a couple of questions. Maybe we can take 4 or 5 questions while the others join those who want to draw, and then.
okay, I'll just go in order. Okay, and I see Nandini on top, so I'm Nandini. Please ask.
Yeah, it's not a question. I just want to say that this drawing's really good.
Oh, thank you, Nandini. You know, artists and illustrators love to be told that their drawings are nice. You must tell them. Thank you very much. Ansh, would you like to ask your question?
Yes, sir. So, like, I just wanted to ask, how did you do this very nice drawing so fast? I normally take like 55 minutes.
55?
Even though I do drawing practice in a drawing class, like almost for a year.
I've been drawing a lot of dogs in this last year, so I have some practice. If you ask me to draw, for example, a tiger, then it might take some more time because I'm not so experienced drawing tigers. So maybe that's why. But if you draw lots of one thing, then you will get better at it.
Okay, I'm best at human figures.
Oh, great! That's wonderful. I find human figures quite hard, but that's great. Great, Ansh. Vedant, would you like to ask a question?
Yes. So how many years have you been illustrating?
I went to college. I finished college around 2007, and then I worked for a while. I think my first book I illustrated was in 2009. So that's 27 years, right? From 2009 to 2022 is no, it's 13 years, is it? I think 13 years.
Okay. Wow.
Illustrating books for 13 years. Shravi, would you like to ask?
Yes, can we color this dog?
Yes, you must color it if you have colors.
And
You
can
can-
we draw background like trees or a park?
Oh
or
my God, you have to draw trees and plants and that'll be wonderful,
for
Shravi.
example,
Like what, for example?
the dog's owner.
Owner, maybe just the feet. Owner and all is not important.
Okay.
Draw what the dog likes. Does the dog like to go for walks, and does the dog like have friends, other doggy friends? Draw those. Okay. How is everyone doing with drawings? Should we move on to storytelling?
Rajiv, what we can do is give them about a minute, and maybe the ones who are
Sure.
done, you can just hold it up so you can
Oh
see
yeah, that'll be wonderful.
what they've done. In the little
Great.
windows, you'll be able to see what they've done.
Oh, super.
And, but Rajiv, I've also heard that you're extremely fond of animals.
Oh yes, I forgot. I am fond of animals, which is why I was very excited about drawing this book. My wife is also very, very fond of animals, and she rescues a lot of animals with all her friends. Shreya is holding up her drawing. Shreya, should we wait for everyone else and then we can all hold them up together? Yeah. So I was saying my wife is also extremely fond of animals, and as you know, we live in cities, and there are lots of speeding cars, and animals get into all kinds of trouble, and sometimes they need help. So my wife has a very kind heart, and she tries and tries to help these animals when they're in need. And so we have had the opportunity to help and take care of lots of animals. In fact, here is one. This is Inji the cat. She had a small accident.
Rajiv, can you stop your screen share so people can see
Yeah,
the
right.
cat? Yeah.
Hold on. That's Inji the cat. She is 9 years old and she's quite grumpy. She bullies a lot of everyone else in this house, including me and my wife and our dog and our other cat. Yeah. Okay, so should we all share drawings now, Vaishali?
I think we should do that. Yes.
Okay,
yes.
great. How do we do this? But
so I think they'll all just hold it up.
Okay.
So can you? I don't know if you can see. Tanya, can you change it into like a gallery view so all
yeah.
Visible instead of a spot?
I think people have to do that individually. Mine is already in gallery view.
Oh, can you spotlight people one by one, maybe?
Yeah, remove Rajiv from the spotlight. You'll all be able to show your
yes.
Love.
Oh. Who is this? I see a colored brown dog with spots.
That's Dia.
So lovely.
Dia.
So lovely, Dia. Vihan, I like your dog too. So nice. Who else is Siddharth? Can you center your drawing a little bit?
Siddharth, hold it close to, just in front of the camera, Siddharth. It's not visible. Sid?
Shreya, that's lovely. Vaishali, who's drawn the dog in your
Kavya.
Oh, Kavya, so lovely. So wonderful to see these drawings.
Siddharth, can you hold up your drawing?
Ansh, what is your doggy eating in his bowl?
Yes, I'm going to draw some chips. My
Oh,
favorite.
chips. Chips, very good.
Chips or dog food, I don't know.
I think dog food might be safer. Chips have too much salt, not good for dogs.
Yeah, or it's very spicy.
Hey, there were some drawings that went down. Can you please hold them up? Lavanya, did you have a drawing? No. I saw, there's Ragini's drawing. Oh, that's a nice doggy. Okay, great. So lovely to see everyone's drawings. Thank you for doing. Oh, wait, we have one more. Shravi. Shravi, are you using a sketch pen? That's a lovely dog. You're mute.
I first drew a rough with pencil and then outlined it with sketch pen.
Hey, wonderful. That's my my trick as well. Great. Okay.
Siddharth has one question. I think we'll take that question and then we'll
Sure.
story. Yes, Siddharth.
Sure, Siddharth.
Siddharth, you'll have to unmute yourself.
Normally, I draw dinosaurs. Look at this.
Oh.
Spinector and Indominus Rex.
Wow. That's a wonderful drawing.
He's a Carnotaurus and a T-Rex.
Fantastic.
Great. Thank you, Siddharth.
Should I send a drawing of a dinosaur so that I can draw?
Wonderful.
You can try it after the session, Siddharth. Now we are going to speak with the author, okay?
Yeah. So let's now, Serao is the author of this very, very wonderful book. Let's all listen to her read from the book. Okay, and we'll also be seeing some illustrations while that's happening. Over to you, Serao. And you can all switch back to your speaker mode, maybe, so that you can see Serao.
We'll be sharing the screen. You'll be able to see some illustrations from the book. And for now, you can put away your pencils, your sketchbooks and everything. And let's all sit back and, enjoy this lovely story that Serao has penned down, okay? Over to you, Serao.
Thank you, everyone. And thank you, Rajiv, for that lovely session. I'm nervous of computers in general, and I was looking at the screen awed by how all of you children are so savvy, and I'm just hoping I stay online and you can hear my voice, although you can't see me, because I like to be an octopus hidden away in the ocean depths. But I would like to read out my story to you. One of you, I think, Aradhya, you have a beautiful ocean background for your screen. I loved that. Thank you for that. So are you all ready to hear the story? Shall we get into the story? Yeah? Okay, great. And you're also going to see these wonderful pictures that Rajiv drew. And he actually visited the forest farm where Chitty stayed and made these pictures. This is a true story, by the way. So here we go into Chitty, a dog and her forest farm, based on a true story. Chitty was born on the streets of Pune city. One stormy monsoon night, she was taken in by my generous friend Manisha, a small, solemn, snow-white puppy with jet black eyes at your doorstep is indeed hard to resist. The rain, thunder, and lightning fiercely argued that the little one could not be turned away. Manisha asked me if I would like to adopt Chitty. I said, should I? Maybe. And then suddenly a firm yes popped out of my heart and mouth. Chitty then traveled by jeep from Pune to my forest farm in Karnataka's Western Ghats. I live in the middle of a thick, moist deciduous forest, which has trees like rosewood, cinnamon, monkey jack, and frankincense. I have an orchard with banana, supari, and cacao trees, and I grow spices like clove, nutmeg, cardamom, and turmeric. I also have a small vegetable garden. To reach my nearest neighbor, I have to cross the forest and then some paddy fields across 3 rickety bridges. A remote place, some say. Well, it might seem remote to many people, but this forest farm is the center of my universe. I wondered how such a timid young dog like Chitty would adjust to life in the wilderness, where the occasional tiger roared at night. She also had to reckon with my other dog, Scrabble, a real bully, who was used to being the boss around the house. But Chitty, gently and silently, eased into life in her jungle home. Soon enough, there were many names that she went by. She was Chitty, Chitku, Chin Chin, Hello Chitty, like Hello Kitty, Nani Patani, my little pea, Munia, Momo Girl, Miss Idli, and Chitney Miss Chutney. When she disappeared into the bushes during our forest walks, I would call out to her with a long and loud Chitty, which made the langurs stop foraging and look down from their high treetops. She loved to chase the langurs, expertly weaving her way through the trees as they leaped about from branch to branch high above. Sometimes they would throw fruits at her, and Chitty would eventually come home spattered with the bright magenta of kokum fruit or smelling of ripe jackfruit. Chitty was affectionate but self-contained. She didn't fawn on me or demand attention. She soon developed very distinct preferences of her own, such as stargazing. The nights at my farm are dark, not the type of dark you see in cities with their bright street lights. Really, truly dark. The kind of dark where you can stare endlessly at spectacular stars and feel one with the cosmos. Chitty did just that for hours. She would sit on her porch, on her stone perch, gazing at the night sky. I would joke about it, saying she could qualify to peer through the Hubble Space Telescope and make history as the world's first doggy astronomer. She so loved stargazing that I often had to coax her to come inside when it was time to sleep. Since I had lost a dog to a leopard in my early years on the farm, I was very careful about keeping my dogs indoors at night. The pre-monsoon rains in May brought all kinds of creatures into my mud cottage seeking shelter. One night, Chitty found a big black scorpion near her bedding on the floor. She alerted me to it in the middle of the night by scratching at my door. The creature was poised to strike. How Chitty had sensed this in the dark and knew she needed help, I do not know. Instinct, perhaps? The scorpion looked more ferocious than it was. I was able to coax it onto a sheet of paper and take it outside. I was not so brave, though, when Chitty found a big fat snake curled up under my desk. Chandri, Chandri, please come quickly, I called out to my farm help. Together, we tried to draw the snake out. The poor thing was as nervous as we were and slithered about here and there. I heaved a sigh of relief when I saw it was a harmless rat snake and not a venomous species of snake. We managed to chase it out of the house and onto the veranda. But instead of disappearing into the greenery beyond, the snake climbed onto my armchair. This was too much for Chitty, who had no fear of snakes. I could almost hear her thinking, "Hey, this is my house and that is not your chair." She struck out at the snake, making it cringe, but not for long. The snake lunged at Chitty, and then it was Chitty's turn to spring backwards. This back and forth volley between snake in the armchair and dog on the ground lasted for a while, with Chandri and me in the background waving and whooping, "Hey, shoo, shoo!" We were desperate that neither animal should be hurt. We put on quite a song and dance performance trying to separate the two. Finally, Chitty backed off and the snake escaped. Rat snakes are useful animals, and I hoped this one had caught a mouse or two in the house. Monsoons in the Western Ghats are very special with their misty, moisty days, but they are tough as well. Sheets of relentless rain with almost no spells of sunshine. For 4 months, everything in the house feels damp and moldy. The walls, your books, your mattress, even your clothes. You start wondering whether, if you woke up late one morning, you might have mushrooms growing out of your ears. One night of non-stop lightning and thunder remains unforgettable for me. It was pitch dark as there was no electricity and no phone either to call for help. The rain became heavier, and each successive peal of thunder had an ear-splitting, evil tone to it. I had never been witness to anything like this. It was one of the most terrifying times in all my years on the farm. I was afraid that lightning would strike the house since sparks had begun to fly out of the electric plug points. This was an emergency. I had to find a safe place. Chitty was a hair's breadth ahead of me in thinking. Perhaps guided by an ancient animal instinct, she rushed to the bedroom and Scrabble and I followed. I realized then that the bedroom was the most protected part of the cottage, because between the bedroom and the tiled roof of the house was a solid wooden attic topped with a layer of plastered mud. We would be safer here than in any other part of the house. I closed the door and the three of us sat huddled there. I had my arms around my canine companions. Not a word or whine emerged from us as the vicious thunder continued to stalk us. The next 15 minutes seemed like an eternity. But then the storm passed. This incident will remain seared in my mind forever, not only because of the terror it struck in me, but also because I was astounded at Chitty's remarkable instinct in getting us to safety. You know, children, that night really remains so real in my life. And even as I read out this story, I can remember what we went through that night. But we'll move on to a better time now in the cool weather when you'll hear more about Chitty's adventures. In the winter, when the weather was nice and cool, I had many visitors to the forest farm, from very young children to people in their 80s, all of whom delighted in being here. Chitty often took our visitors for walks. She intuitively understood what people needed. Often, it was just a glance back at you to make sure you were right there. At times, it was a whole lot of tail wagging and head shaking in a way that said, "Come on, a little play will make your worries all go away." Children who came from the city for nature camps especially loved her. She sat very patiently, letting them pet her or tickle her belly, while their delighted laughter tinkled through the farm. Many a young child, terribly scared of dogs, got over their fear after Chitty befriended them. Chitty was a natural in her forest world. I was constantly learning simply by observing her. She was my companion and partner. As she grew older, we communicated with an even greater ease and fluidity. My words and gestures and her expressive eyes, short barks, sighs, and body movements made for a lot of great conversation. And so time passed, seasons unfurled one after the other. The ebb and flow of the tide of life went on. Trees and plants flowered. They put out fruit that all of us, humans and non-humans, ate. Leaves fell in the dry season. Then we had the first flush of green leaves all over again. The sun rose and the sun set. The moon rose and the moon set too. Full moons appeared and faded into new moons. Our lives wrapped themselves around this rhythm, ever changing, yet never changing. Our forest walks were much loved slices of togetherness. There was always a lovely crunchy sound when we walked on the dry leaves. We never cleared the leaves since they clothed the earth and protected the soil from being washed away when the rains pelted down. The water would soak into the earth through the spongy leaf litter onto the forest floor. We were all getting older. Chitty too. She now liked spending more time around the house. She still chased after the langurs, though not with the same energy as before. Scrabble had died some years ago, and Chitty was now the grande dame, the matriarch of the house. She was really enjoying life on her own terms. One summer day, Chitty suddenly stopped eating. Dogs know when to fast if their stomachs are upset, so I let her be. But when she didn't eat for several days, I took her to the vet. Some tests later, we discovered that her kidneys were not in good shape. She was given some medicines which she didn't like at all. She ate a little now and then, but she didn't seem interested in her food. Even though she was unwell, Chitty was still keen on some things. She would glance at the rawhide bone which belonged to my new dog Yogi and quickly hide it under her bedding when he wasn't looking. Although she didn't have the appetite to eat it, oh, how she made me laugh, even when I was feeling sad and knotted up inside thinking of her condition. But she handled herself with her usual quiet grace, as though nothing had gone wrong. She was at peace and in complete acceptance of her situation. Chitty had come to me in the rains. She slipped away in the rains too. She had been witness to 13 monsoons. The skies were sending down torrents of rain and there had been no electricity for 5 days. After she died, I sat by her side by candlelight, waiting for dawn to break. She was laid to rest at one of her favorite places under the open sky, a spot overlooking the paddy fields, orchards, and forests beyond. Chitty could now lie there beneath the earth and do all the stargazing she wanted. My little cloud, Chitty, had finally floated away. I had known she would leave me, of course, but didn't expect it so soon. Where had she gone? Everything seemed dark and dismal without her. The death of someone who is so much a part of your life can do that to you. You cannot see or hear or smell or touch them anymore. It is so final. I was numb with grief after her passing and found I could not even cry. As the days, weeks, and months passed by, I missed Chitty in a very painful way. I wished over and over that I could hold her, hug her, and kiss her just once more. Nearly a year later, I was still disturbed within. The forest had always quietly whispered answers to me when I was troubled, but this time I was still searching for peace and acceptance. I sat by Chitty's resting place one sunset, wondering why things hurt so much. Why was I still so sad when she herself had gone gracefully and willingly? I remembered then her love for stargazing. It struck me that perhaps Chitty had seen the edge of the universe as she gazed at the night sky. Maybe her serenity had come from knowing, in her own doggy way, that we are all only a tiny part of something much larger than ourselves. Chitty, my wise forest nymph, had shown me what I had missed all along. She certainly didn't need any Hubble Space Telescope to figure things out. She had her own inbuilt one. The grass and wildflowers around Chitty's grave told me that life was springing back and thriving. This indeed was the eternal and magnificent cycle of nature. Chitty was one with the earth now, an inseparable part of it. The forest had embraced her and they belonged together. Even as my eyes finally filled with tears, my heart began to crinkle into a slow smile. The first star of the evening made its silent appearance. The crickets began to call, keeping their appointment with the birth of another night. I knew I had to carry on without her. There would never be another Chitty in my life ever again. But deep down, I started to feel that something must connect us all, whether we are dead or alive. I walked back to my cottage slowly, with a light step and a lighter heart. And Chitty, well, guess what? She was right beside me, as usual. The end. So that's the end of the story. Can everyone hear me? Yeah, great. You know, this is a true story, kids. So before we start talking, and I'd like to hear you ask me questions and tell me how you like the story and how Rajiv and I did this whole thing together. Would you like to see some real photographs of Chitty and where she lived? Yeah? Okay. Can I ask Tanya then to show some photographs? And I'll explain some of them as we go along. So here comes Chitty. There she is. Yeah, next. This is her on the farm. That's a typical expression of hers. Looking at you saying, what's next? What's coming? Do you know what I'm thinking? Next. That's Chitty going exploring in the forest. You know, dogs use their noses a lot. They make maps using their noses. They have nose maps of everywhere they are. Next. Yeah, that's us going for a walk on the farm. She was always ahead, always very alert to see what was on the trees or what was coming next. Next. Yeah, this was back on her little bed, which was on our porch. And I don't know what she was thinking, but she was thinking something. She had an incredible mind. Next. Yes, that is Palmyra. She was one of our visitors to the farm, and that's Yogi and Chitty and Palmyra all frolicking on the floor. A real Chitty, yeah, that's right, Siddharth. Chitty was for real. Next. Would you like to see baby Chitty? We have, yeah, we have pictures of her too. Tanya, could we see pictures? And
sorry, I don't have baby Chitty. I just have these and the landscape ones.
Oh dear. Well, okay. Yes, I did send you some pictures. Okay. May I just send them to you now for you to show?
Maybe at the end, you can move on with the session.
All right. Yeah, will do. We can move on with the session. Yeah. Sure. So if anyone has any questions or how you like the story,
yeah, I had a question. Is Chitty your dog?
Yeah, she was my dog.
Oh, okay, I didn't know.
Yeah, that's how I knew her so well. Yeah, Aradhya, I think you have a question.
How many days did you and Rajiv uncle both had together made the book? Means how many days did you needed to write the book, and to do the illustrations and publish it? How much was the time?
Well, I started writing the book much before Rajiv came to the farm. And this book actually helped me get over a lot of the sadness I felt at Chitty's passing, because I really had lost a good friend before I came to terms with it. So it took me some months on and off. I would write it and come back to it and write it and come back to it. And some of you who've written stories might know that it doesn't all happen in one go. And then Rajiv was ready to come, so he drove down from Bangalore to the farm and arrived there, and we spent, I think, about 3 days, Rajiv, on the farm, going to all the places that
Yeah. 3 wonderful days, I might add. For me.
Yes. Yeah. And I don't know, you must have taken a long time doing the illustrations.
Same like you, on and off. It took a few months, and then I was late. I went over my time limit, and then I had to apologize to everyone that I was late. But yeah, it took about 4 or 5 months, I think. And then after the illustrations are done, the publisher needs to arrange the text and the drawings side by side and make it ready for print. And then it goes to a printer, and then they print many copies, like 2,000, 3,000 copies of the book. And then they need to go out to stores. So it's publishing is a long process.
Yeah, we had a great editor and an editorial team. They did, miracle with the book, and we were so eager for it to be printed and reach everybody.
Lots of hands are up, Shrav.
Yeah, I can't see very well on my screen. So
okay.
can somebody mediate this for me, please? Yeah,
sure, I'll do that.
Thank
Nina?
you.
How are you doing it?
Yeah. So this was a very nice story, a very touching story. So I wanted to ask that when Chitty came to your farmhouse or you adopted her, how many years old was she?
Oh, she was just 5 months old, Nia. She was quite small, and Manisha brought her all the way.
Actually, I also have a dog. He's downstairs.
Oh, really? What's his name?
Leo.
Eo.
Shall I bring him up?
Sure. Does anyone else have anything to say while Nia brings her dog?
I have a picture of Manisha and with baby Chitty. Would you like me to share it now?
Yeah. I sent you 4 pictures, so maybe one after the other very quickly. But maybe Nia should come back. She'll miss it. But yeah.
Okay, then we can take the next question from Varada.
Yeah. Varada?
Yeah, the story was quite amazing.
Thank you.
Yeah, and my grandparents actually live in Hyderabad. So over there, they have a dog, and we have a dog, and she's around 11, 12 years old now. And her name is Stephanie.
Oh, do you call her Steffi for short?
Yes.
Yeah. And is she an Indie or some other?
No, she's a Labrador.
I see. You know something very interesting? Rajiv and his wife Archana, they rescue dogs. He told you a little bit about it, but they've brought in dogs who have been in very bad shape and nursed them back to life. And that's a tough thing to do. I thought I'd mention it here.
And also there was this black dog. Her name was Goldie. We had her. I don't know why my grandfather named her Goldie, even though she was black. So she passed away, and I felt really bad about it.
Oh, you know the feeling, no?
Yeah.
Yeah. Nia is back. So would everybody like to see pictures of baby Chitty and Manisha, who brought me Chitty? Yeah? Okay, here we go. There she is. when she was very tiny, even tinier than when I first met her.
Who's the other dog in the picture, Sirao?
Yeah, that
On the
was
left?
Manisha's dog, I think, who didn't
Ah.
do anything to Chitty, who was very
Hmm.
kind to her.
Hmm.
And next, there's Manisha, who also lives in Pune, by the way, for some of you who do live in Pune. And there's Chitty right underneath, wide awake, bright-eyed and bushy-tailed, while Manisha takes a nap. Next. Yeah, this is on the farm, the forest farm. Now you can see young Chitty, not quite a year old, and Manisha came to visit. She wanted to make sure Chitty was okay. They shared a very special relationship. And is there another one, or we're done with pictures? Oh yeah, that's also at the farm. This is Chitty when she was, I think, about 4 or 5 years old. So you can see from babyhood to, being a young dog, how she's changed. Yeah, so those were some real life pictures that I wanted to share with you. Yeah, so
Nia's Leo is here. We just take a quick look at Nia's Leo.
where's Leo? Oh, isn't he a darling? Oh my. Hi, Leo. How are you? So happy to have you here. You have your own story too. Nia, you should write something about Leo if you feel like. Yeah, it's great fun writing about your pets. Okay, is there anyone who wants to say anything else?
Shravi?
I wanted to ask that although Chitty had passed away, when you were walking back in the last sentence, how did she come back?
Yeah, that's a good question. Thank you, Shravi. So she didn't really come back, but my heart felt like she would always be with me. Before that, I thought of her as dead and not being there physically. But when I sat that evening and thought about how she looked at the sky and how, she had gone back to the earth, I felt that her spirit would always be with me. And so a lot of my sadness went away. And so Rajiv decided to show her walking beside me. It's just symbolic that she would always be with me, okay? And that's something we can always do, right? Even if somebody is dead, they can be very alive in our hearts, right? They can, yeah.
And one more thing, I wanted to show my completed drawing.
Oh yeah, please. Let's have a look.
Oh wow, that's
wow.
so good.
You did
What
that?
did you use? Did you use paint?
No, it's sketch pen.
So wonderful. So lovely.
Look at those 3 bones. Have you named
Yeah.
this dog?
Yes, Millicent.
Millicent.
Decent. Wonderful.
It's quite a name for a dog with 3 bones. Lovely. So did you do this while the story was being read?
Yes.
Nice. Very nice.
Thank you.
We have a question from Dia.
Yes.
Yes,
The story was awesome.
Thank
And
you.
I had a question that how old was Chitty when she died?
Chitty was 13 years old. So that's actually, she lived quite a long time. In human years, that would be 13, roughly 13 multiplied by 7, which is like in her 80s, no? Yeah.
20, I think.
Huh?
13 multiplied by
13
7.
multiplied by 7.
27.
No. 13 multiplied by 7. Raji is like 70,
37.
80s, yeah.
80s.
80s.
Ripe old age.
Yeah, ripe old age.
91 actually.
Oh, 91, yeah.
91.
Okay. I've forgotten my 13 timetables. Yeah, so Shravi, she had lived a good life, yeah, and a happy life. Was much loved by everybody and in turn loved everyone back.
That's right.
Yeah. I feel very.
Yeah, next is Vaishali. Did you have a question or did Kavya have a question? You're muted. Sorry, we can't hear you.
She's asking if you have a photo of Scrabble.
Do we
Sorry?
have a photo of Scrabble?
Yes, I do have a picture of Scrabble. But I might take a little bit of time getting a hold of it.
That's okay. So now you can send it later. I can show it. With
May I? Yeah. I have a, yeah.
Nandini?
Was really good. It was amazing and it was very touching. And I also have my own dog. He is an Indie and his name is Mowgli.
His name is?
Mowgli.
Mowgli. Oh, sweet. Yeah. How old is he? How old is Mowgli?
5 years old.
5 years old. Oh, so he must be full of beans.
Yeah, he's sleeping right now.
Okay. Yeah, good. I'm sure you've had some nice adventures and times with him.
Yeah.
Yeah. It would be really nice for those of you who want to. Maybe after this, if you feel like you can make your own illustrated story. Rajiv has shown you how to draw dogs, and you've listened to this story. How about coming up with your own doggy or pet storybook? It could even be, like a few pages. You could share it with Vaishali auntie.
That's a great idea, Sirao. And children, you can share it with me, and I'll be more than happy to share it with Rajiv and Sirao.
And then imagine you could each,
lovely.
yeah, and you could send it to her, and then maybe she'd give you some suggestions on how to add on something or improve it, and then you could be the author on a show like this. How would you like that?
It'd be an anthology of dogs.
Yeah, and you could put it all together as one big anthology or book.
I mean, if you all want to take it up, not just about a dog. I mean, some of you might have other pets. I actually, read a few chats where somebody said we have 5 parrots.
Yeah.
Cat. Rajiv also has a cat. So we can write a little story and have illustrations with their pets and put them together. We could set aside a date when you can actually complete it and send it, and we could meet again. And this time, you all could share your stories. That would be wonderful, isn't it? Yeah, so think about it. We all are in one WhatsApp group, and I've put you all together. So I'll definitely share the details, and we can all are up to it. Okay, you can all write, even if it's a 1 or 2 page story. Don't worry about it. It doesn't have to be 10, 20 pages or a chapter book. Just a small adventure or something very interesting if you want to write about your pet and have a small illustration. Have it up. How's the idea? I quite like the idea.
I like that. Yeah. So I'll be waiting to be listening to you all and seeing your pictures.
Can we take the next question?
Yeah.
Someone, I'm sorry, I don't know your name because your screen name says Rakesh More.
My name is Arya.
Arya?
The story was really excellent. I wanted to tell you one more thing that I also have a dog named Leo. It is right next to me.
Oh. Oh my goodness, look at that. He's a wild one. Huh? Let's see your eyes, Leo. Okay. Oh, he doesn't like it. Nice. Thank you for showing us Leo, your Leo. Where do you stay, Arya? Okay, we have someone else with the next question.
Varada, do you have a question?
Varada,
You'll
have
have
to
to unmute
unmute.
yourself.
Yeah, sorry. I just wanted to show you a dog sketch I'd done. So here it is.
Oh, wow.
My word.
That's really something. And did you use pencils?
Yeah, I did a pencil sketch of it.
Really lovely.
Very nice.
Thank you
I
so
think
much.
Tanya, Ayan has had his hand up for a while. Can Ayan, would you like to ask your question?
I also have like 3 dogs in my house right now, and they're all like wonderful. And I hope I can write a story like what you have written.
Please do. It's wonderful you have 3 doggy friends. And the 4 of you must make quite a gang, huh?
Yeah.
So let's hear about this foursome soon.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm sorry that I can't see people's hands up. So, thank you, Rajiv and others for pointing out who has a question to ask.
Yeah, I'm just going as they appear on my screen. So the next one on my screen is Raghav.
1 minute, Raghav. Children, I've put on my Gmail ID because I don't think Ayan is on the group. There could be some children who join directly to the link. My email address is there on the chat for everyone. You can all write your story and illustration and send them on this email ID, okay?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yes, Raghav, go ahead.
Yeah, ma'am, I wanted to ask 2 questions actually. So one is that in like is there the dog, the white dog, I really do not remember her name. So
Chitty.
one of her, yeah, Chitty, sorry, Chitty, yeah. One of her eyes was very big.
Yes, that is such a, very good observation. So if you noticed, her left eye actually looked bigger than her right. And
Yeah.
that's because she had a brown patch. Her fur was brown around the right eye. So visually, it looked like her left was bigger than the right. And I think Rajiv, as an artist, can explain more about these visual effects.
No, that's a great observation. I'm not sure I noticed it either, but now that you say, it does look like the right eye is bigger. I think maybe it's because there's a black inside the brown patch. There's a black discoloration around the eye, and maybe that's what's making it look bigger.
Okay.
But great observation.
Yeah.
And
Very
these
cool.
are things that really bring a story alive, the drawings as well as the writing. These kind of these sort of very fine observations. So do think about that when you're writing your story.
Yeah, I
And
have
drawing.
one more question that involving Chitty and all the other dogs and even the dog if you have right now. What is the total count of dogs you had and have?
What's the total count in my whole life till now?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Just give me a few seconds. There was Schmidt, and then there was Scrabble, Chitty. Oh boy, maybe about nine dogs so far.
Say all their names, no, Sarah. Why you doing
Okay. When I
mental
was
calculation?
when I was tiny, I had a dog called Schmidt. Then for the longest while, no. Then there was Kublai and Kublai. Then there was Chico and Sachi. and then there was Chitty, and oh yeah, there was Gundu, and there was Scrabble, and then there was Yogi, and then came Ava and Zulu. So that's 10. Yeah, yeah. Thank you, Rajiv. Yeah, 10 wonderful dogs that have been part of my life. Scrabble was a very difficult dog, very tough dog to handle. But yeah, he was special too. So maybe the next time we meet with some of your stories, I will bring you a picture of Scrabble, okay? You all will be reading your stories, but I will bring a photograph. And Rajiv will bring something else. That's nice. That's, yeah. Oh, it's a...
Yeah, I see that drawing of the cat. So nice.
Yeah, I love the outline. Cool. So thanks, Raghav, for your great questions. Oh, there we are. Who brought that up?
Yes.
Rajiv?
No, that was me.
You, okay. Oh yeah, I had sent this. You know, we would go to the river very often. There was a beautiful river about a 20-minute walk from the forest farm. And it's one of the few rivers, I think, which is unpolluted. And Scrabble was a water dog. So he loved jumping all over and jumping into the water.
Also, you know how when you all write sentences, you all use punctuation like an exclamation mark and a question mark. For dogs, this tilting their head like that is the equivalent of a question mark at the end of a sentence. So, no, isn't that right, Sarah?
Oh yeah. Yes. Or when sometimes they hear a noise and they're trying to process that noise, they go this way and that at the noise, saying, yeah, it's also a question mark. Yeah, what's that?
Arya, do you have another question? And Shravi, your hand is also up.
Actually, someone, I don't know, but I think someone asked me where do I live. So I just
I did.
Oh, I live in Pune.
Okay. Nice.
One more thing, even I had a golden retriever, but I was just playing in the parking and something happened, and a boy came and just took him, and after that, he just left him like that only. So after really feeling very sad.
He took your dog away. Oh my goodness, I'm sorry to hear that. And you couldn't get your dog back. Yeah, sometimes those things happen and it's not nice to take away somebody else's pet dog. That was not good at all. But you have Leo now.
Nia, did you have a question?
I wanted to tell you something that even my Atya's dog, her dog also someone took it away. And actually, I had 6 cats before. But 4 were kittens and 2 were adults. But they passed away.
All of them?
Sorry.
Oh my goodness. I don't know what to say to that. I'm sorry.
I want to say something that
2 years, 6 years, some years happened. I don't know.
Okay, you don't remember. But hopefully they're in a good place now. Yeah? And you have nice memories of them.
I want to say something.
Yes, Shravi.
When you said that we should develop our own illustrations and stories, I worked my picture out to be a book cover like this.
My word!
That's wonderful. I think if we keep talking, one book will also
will happen
fully
off.
published book will be ready.
Millicent's life. Oh, I would love to hear about Millicent's life. Wouldn't everybody? What are those two hearts with a little thing? That's what's
It's just decoration. I drew it.
okay. It looks like something that's flying. Yeah, it looks very cute.
You know, Rajiv and
Congratulations.
Siraj, many of these children, are part of we do at the story station, and a lot of times I see them, do this when we're interacting with authors. They're all fascinated about writing. They are very fascinated. I mean, they have asked you questions about publishing and how long does it take. Because so many times they write their story, they have the illustrations, and then they want to know how quickly their book can be printed. When can they be authors? So I think Siral's suggestion of getting them all to write about their pet and putting it all together as an anthology, you never know how all of that will take shape. And Rajiv, just like you, Shravi is very, very fond of animals. Give her any genre to write, and she can put animals in and write a story. For 3 years now. Anything, you give her mystery, you give her fairy tale, you give her a ghost story, it will have animals in it.
Great. So, well, I would be more than happy to, sit in outside of this to, if there's any way I can help with bringing these stories together. But these children are incredible. I'm sure we'll have at least a dozen stories fairly soon.
Definitely.
And it'll be so fun. Trust me. It's, just very nice to do something like that.
Do you all have any more questions, children? Anyone else wants to ask anything?
Raghav has a question, and I think nobody else after that.
Yeah, so I have one more question that the bones in the bowl that Shelby showed, which bones are those, and are those real bones or fake bones which just added some taste?
Shravi, you have to answer that question. It's a question for you.
No, it's not a question, it's just a general question. Is that like bones in real life, that do they actually give real bones, or are they just fake bones that they just have to suck the taste out of it? It's just a general question, not for Shravi.
Shravi, unmute yourself. You'll have to unmute, yeah. Okay.
I couldn't unmute it. So these are real bones and they can eat it.
And which bones are those?
Means?
Which animal?
Chicken.
Yeah, which
bone.
animal means? Is it just like any other bone?
Chicken.
Chicken bone. Okay.
So, rather than I'm going to answer your question, I think I sort of understand what you're asking. But the ones who have pet dogs can also answer it. Apart from the bones of the animals, which also dogs chew on, you do get, bones from the pet store which have calcium in it and which are, which are good for the health for the dog, as also for the dental hygiene for the pets as well. They need to chew, they need to bite. Otherwise, usually when you get a new dog at home, you'll also realize that your chappals and your sofa corner and your chair legs and everything are chewed. Everything. All those who have dogs are all nodding their heads. One chappal is fine, the other chappal is not found, and it's torn. It's in tatters. So that's also a way, like how little babies are given teethers, they want to keep chewing it. So they have their gums which are feeling that, have that sensation. So bones for eating, which are from the non-vegetarian food, and also puns that you find in specific flavors. Am I right, Rajiv? Sarao?
Vaishali,
yeah.
Can I write my story today?
You can write it any time. Okay, let's put a time. Okay, today is the 29th of January. Say by the 19th of February, okay? 19th. I'm giving you lots of time. Some can finish now. By the 19th of February, you all have to send me your stories on my Gmail account, which is posted on the chat.
And one more question, that should it be a nice long story or a short and simple story?
Before you come up with those questions, I'm going to give you a quick talk on that. So your story can be one page, it can be a chapter book. Remember when Sirav and Rajiv were talking, they did not finish writing the story in a day. So even if you're very, very pumped up today to write your story, you must also go back and revisit your story a couple of times and add something, remove something, revisit your illustration, fine tune it, proofread it, before it comes to us. So take your time till the 19th of February. So all the entries will close after 19th of February. Okay. So before the 19th of February, all of you those who are interested can send us your story with illustrations. And like
one more question.
Any pages
Like I have one more question. Like can the animals speak in the story?
It is your story. You can do anything you want. Remember, I always say that to you all. There are no ifs and buts. It is your idea. You can make the animals, you can make a dog fly, you can make the cat talk, you can make the monkey become a lion, you can make the lion live inside a bottle, you can do whatever you want. It's your story.
Yeah, your animals can sing, dance, whistle, like that.
So anything, it's up to you. So if it's an imaginary animal, if you don't have a pet, then you can do that. Or if you have a pet, like Sarah, you can write about your pet. And it's not limited to just a dog. It can be any. If you have a pet caterpillar or if you have a pet lizard that has not left your house at all for many days, and you feel like it's become a pet because it just loves your house so much, you can write about the lizard also. So whatever you like, you can write about.
Let your imaginations run free and wild, everybody.
Okay, and if you have any more questions about this, write it to me on Gmail. Okay, right now we want time with Rajiv and Sirav, so let's do that. Okay, any questions you can write it to me, and once you are finished, I will send it to Sirav, I'll send it to Rajiv and Sujata and everyone. Any more questions? Nandini?
So, I just want to say that when my dog was a puppy, he really didn't chew on chappals or shoes at all. He did once chew, bite on my book, but it wasn't that often that he chewed on chairs or chappals or things like that.
That was one well-behaved dog you had, I must say. He was a good little puppy, huh? Did you take him out for walks a lot? Play with him? Maybe that's why he was engaged otherwise, but also, yeah, maybe he did know that he wasn't meant to chew chuckles. Good for him. Okay.
Did you all have a good time? Did you like the story? Yeah. So just like how Surav said, that the story had adventure, it spoke about the things that touched Surav the most. And though we all felt a little sad about Chitty passing away in the story, we also realized that even if we lose somebody, we can always think about the lovely memories that we've had, isn't it? Even if Arya doesn't have a previous dog, she still remembers that one and looks at the new Leo that she has, right? So Surav, such a beautiful story. Rajiv, so wonderfully illustrated. I think I would definitely speak on behalf of my children also that when we saw the actual pictures of Chitty and the beautiful illustrations you made, we could see all the things that you just absorbed into it. And Sirav, such a heartfelt.
Thank you.
I've read the book before. I think when you read it out, it's also very, very good. I think we're very lucky to have a book read to us by the author herself. So we're all thankful.
Oh, my pleasure.
Yeah. So Sujata and Tanya, thank you. It's always such a pleasure that my children get to interact with authors and get to, see such wonderful books that Kalpavriksha brings for all of them. So thank you again for having us.
And if this is the end of this session, can we all say goodbye by barking or whining or howling, whatever we want, all dog style, everybody. You have to unmute everybody. Okay, ready?
Love to unmute and they all love to give a nice loud.
Yeah. That was a wolf call because dogs come from wolves originally. Okay, great show.
When are you going to put one more session to do like this?
Very soon, very soon. In fact, okay, let me tell you, very soon in another 2 weeks, we have another.
Enjoyed it a lot.
We have another book reading. So stay in touch. This is going to be on the 12th of Feb, right, Sujata? Yeah. So 12th of Feb, which is also a Saturday, again at 4 o'clock, but this time another new story with another new author. Yeah. So, like I told you, Nia, I don't know if I have.
February.
Sorry?
My birthday is in February.
Is it? Mine too. So those who don't have my phone number or have my email address, so what I can do is I'm going to quickly put my phone number so you can ask your parents to send me a hello.
Okay, so should I call my mother right now?
Okay, my name is Vaishali and you can write to me.
Can I call my mother right now?
You can call her, but why don't you all take a paper and pencil and just write down my phone number.
Where is it?
Can send me a hello.
Where is it?
Okay, it's in the chat box, but I will tell you. 98.
Wait.
Okay, wait.
98, yeah.
20.
20.
229.
What?
229. 22.
I know.
9.
Yes.
003.
Yeah, got it.
Okay. So those who don't have my number, now you all have my number. So you can ask your mamas or daddy to just send me a hello. And I will send you all the information about any book reading or anything that we have to do with stories. Okay. And you can. And thank you all kids. You have been such a wonderful audience with your imaginative questions and sharing about.
And I want to say something that when we all write the books, maybe we can send it to your house and then you can just take a picture or you can print all of the same books and then we can make a small business and sell it to everyone.
Because all you think I am the printer. You first send your stories, we'll all read it. In fact, there is this wonderful thing. I'm going to take 2 minutes of your time. So there is this wonderful book, this collection of book that we actually have. It's a collection of stories written by children who come to the story station, which is in Pune. Okay, I run a place called Story Station, and I do storytelling, story writing. And we did a lovely session on story writing, and you can see that these are the children who wrote the stories and they illustrated them also. So whatever illustrations you will see are done by the children. And we published this and we sold about 400 books.
Wow.
That's why I'm telling you, this is serious. So 19th of February, you better seriously sit down and write some stories and illustrations and send it. You never know, there could be another book, a collection of pet stories in the future, right?
Yeah, Nia is going to be an author and your business manager.
Yeah.
Right, Nia?
Yeah, I hope so.
Oh, cool.
Right. All right. So thank you everyone.
I don't even feel like logging out.
We'll meet very soon. Okay, 12th of Feb. Remember 4 o'clock.
Yes. Okay. 4 o'clock, same time.
Yeah, but remember to send me a message. Otherwise, I won't be able to send you the details.
Okay.
Okay. Bye, Nia.
Bye.
Bye,
Thank-
everyone.
Bye, everyone.
Bye.
Nice
Bye.
meeting you all.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye.
Bye,
Bye.
Vaishali
Bye.
auntie.
Bye.
Bye,